Hi there, I'm Olof.
And I'm Johan.
And we are Amaranthe, and you're watching GRIMM TV with 2 M's.
How are you guys today?
Good.
Well, it's not too bad. Here in Helsinki harbor, on an old schooner from the early 20th century. Could be worse, but no, we're great. It's right at the end of our little press tour that we have done around Europe. So it feels a little bit strange, but also quite nice to, get around a little bit in the current circumstances.
Yeah, I can imagine so. I heard that you already went quite the tour through Europe a little bit for your promo.
Yeah, we took the opportunity because we were going to record a video anyways in Poland, and then we went to Germany and then to Paris and to here. So
the video that you were recording, for what song is it, if I may ask?
I already talked about it quite a bit. The record label's not gonna be happy, but no, I'm kidding. It's a song called
Archangel.
Archangel.
Whatever.
Close enough.
Well, now I didn't say the correct title, so technically I'm not giving anything away. Ooh.
Well, we're here to talk about your upcoming album, Manifest. In your earlier press releases, you were kind of stating that, hey, this is Amaranthe that like of the future. This is who we are. Mm-hmm. Is that sort of how the title of the album came to be?
Yes, so certainly. I mean, I think the cool thing with the manifest word is that it can be a noun, it can be a verb and an adjective at the same time. So I think the verb version holds a lot of meaning for us, because usually when we write or compose or record music, it's not like we sit down and do a lot of work on it in the beginning. It's more like the song manifests itself, basically. So that's the verb. Then we want this album to be the adjective as well, something that is manifest, which basically means that it's clear and obvious to the mind. It's not something that is all over the place, meandering, unsure where to go, and so on and so forth. It is manifest.
Yeah. And that's kind of, I listened to your album already a couple of times now, and that's sort of what I got from the album. It feels on this one that you kind of found your groove back a bit.
Yeah.
And I saw one of that first video that you released about the recording of the album.
Mm-hmm.
That I think it was Nils that was talking about that, like after all the touring, like the earlier albums, it was a bit kind of difficult to find the right like chemistry between you guys, but that now it was really kind of like after all the touring that you were there. Yeah. Did you kind of experience that recording and such was a bit easier, or?
I mean, yeah, certainly. I think you have the personal aspect of it when it comes to the personal chemistry within the band.
I think we have matured a lot the last couple of years. Became much more relaxed, both with ourselves and also with each other, which we all benefits from, obviously. And we sort of don't take ourselves too serious as you might do when you're younger-ish. We have a much more relaxed approach to everything, and I think this reflects a lot in both the new album and also what you guys have been seeing us on stage the last couple of years, last 2-3 years, that we are finding each other and ourselves and our positions within the band, and we're very relaxed with it, and it brings a new cake to the table.
It shows, or well, manifests.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like overall, a lot of your songs are sort of serious, like sort of bringing a message of like uplifting. Like I read that a couple of times that you try to be like uplifting with your songs. But I also noticed, for instance, Boom,
Mm-hmm.
that you clearly don't take yourself always too serious. I mean, I'm wondering if there's like a story behind that song, because I kind of laughed a lot with it.
But it's definitely a more humoristic take on the Amaranthe sound. But fundamentally it deals with a pretty at least fundamentally serious topic, in the sense that today's world is really polarized when it comes to politics and when it comes to people's opinions on social media, for example. I mean, it's almost driving me a little bit crazy. I'm this close to closing down my Facebook account. But so the way that you can interpret is that the more humoristic take on such a discussion is that you refuse to be part of the discussion. Instead, this character in the Boom song just wants to blow things up instead. That's his way of dealing with the bullshit, basically. But I think it's we deal with some more serious topics on the album in general, and then it's nice to have that. It's like the humoristic touch of things. It's also a song that was written a little bit, as a live song. Me and Henrik, Mr. GG6, the growler in the band, have been discussing it already since last summer. We're at the festival and we were just saying it would be cool to have a song called Boom. So a lot of amazing stuff you can do with the pyrotechnics there already,
I hadn't even thought of that yet.
So that song actually was worked from the other way around. All other songs.
Yeah, I was going to ask already, like, is there one song you're really looking forward to play live?
Boom is one of them.
That's one of them. It's the same thing with both, let's say, Make It Better and Archangel as well. Was that they were both composed with pyrotechnics in mind, actually. Because usually you first write the song, you put all the different cues and the breaks in their place, and then afterwards you hope that you will find some good pyrotechnics breaks. But now that we know that we will work with pyros and lights and stuff like that in the future, it's fun to have that in the back of your mind. Not compromising the music, but looking forward to enhancing it in a live context.
Yeah. And in the meantime, you're quite well known as a big live band. Like, your live shows are a really big part of you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
We are, most of all, we are a live band.
Yeah, well,
that's
almost a given with any band, but
yeah, but some more, some less.
Yeah, of course. But it's indeed nice that you can be in the position to actually write songs catering to that.
Exactly.
That already in advance that, hey, the crowd is going to go wild on this.
That's going to be fun.
You already released like one proper single, counting in the cover and the Do or Die song.
Exactly. That's the way that we count it as well. That Viral is the first real single yet.
And in the press release, you were also talking that like one of the like grooviest and heaviest tracks we've ever done. How have the reactions been to that song?
Fucking amazing.
It's been really good. Yeah.
No, but I think some part of the Amaranthe fan base and listeners have sometimes in the last album and the album before that thinking that we sort of lost track. But now many people say that we found our way back to what is the fundamental Amaranthe, and not only find our way back to it, but also enhance it and make it even bigger and better. So the reactions has been really good.
Yeah, I recognize that. Like your earlier latest album, like I enjoyed them, but this one I truly enjoyed, like from start to finish, because it really feels like you're back. But I don't know.
Yeah, in some sense,
good.
Yeah,
I get glad to hear it.
Yeah. But I think that also reflects how the chemistry is within the band now, and also we have a new management, we have a new record label, we have a new booking agency. The whole organization around the band is brand new, more or less. So I think that gave us a big boost to sort of start to push it and create the best future ever for us.
Something to look forward to after all this shit is over.
Oh,
exactly.
You have no idea.
Something I look forward to as just like journalists being able to do the gigs. So I can only imagine how it is for you guys.
Yeah. I mean, touring so intensely as we have done the last 10 years, and now being grounded due to a small micro virus, that's like that it really feels strange and a bit traumatic.
I went to a festival here in Finland last weekend, and felt strange to be back at like
Yeah.
something proper.
Exactly, and now it stopped again.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
heard, yeah.
Well, it is what it is. We simply just have to ride a storm out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't push it. Take the precautions you're asked to take, and then we could just wish for a vaccine coming up soon that works and is safe.
Or at least a treatment or something.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
something.
Yeah, something that sort of puts an end to all this madness.
And considering the situation with like your release of your new album, are you like planning something special around it, like online event or something like that, or you're not sure about that really?
We have been looking into it, and it's something that we might do, but it's not really our first and foremost focus.
Yeah.
What we want to do is, because as you mentioned before, we're quite a visual band, so we are definitely looking into doing a few more music videos than we usually do on an album, just to bring that side out as well. It's a good way to also get the band, back together and interact and just hang out in general. Not that we're not touring frequently, but on the topic of the current situation, I think that we have been mentioning that maybe it's good to have like 5-6 months of a break, because we've been constantly touring for the last 10 years now. And we have been talking about that for a long time now. It was just never going to happen, So this happened to us instead. So now we have to take this break, whether we
forced
like
into
it or
it.
not.
Yeah.
And the band that will come out on the other side will be a much better band, in better shape in every sense.
Re-energized.
Exactly.
Now back about the album shortly. You earlier released like a different version of Do or Die with Angela on vocals. Was the version that is on the regular album like first, or how did like the Angela version come to be?
The Angela version was actually written a little bit separately from the rest of the songs.
Yeah.
It was intended to be a bit different, but then when we actually listened to what we had written for the new album, we realized that okay, it makes sense to include this on the album. But instead of being lazy and put that same version on the album, let's actually re-record it. So all the instruments are replayed, and obviously now we have Nils and Henrik, two guys in the band instead of the two ladies, which I think is one of the only times I've actually heard about a band doing that.
Yeah.
Having completely different singers on the same song.
And still original singers.
And still original singers, exactly, at least mostly. So that whole idea came from Angela in the first place. Actually, she had this visual idea and lyrical idea that would just happened to fit to this song. So that was a really cool thing to do, and it was a really cool thing to reinterpret it, because I wasn't really sure how Nils was going to interpret Elise's vocals, but it turned out really cool.
Yeah.
It has this classic almost David Coverdale kind of rock feeling to it. So
and if you don't know the Angela version, it really fits in the rest of the album.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of cool to see the
A little
That
twisteroo
version,
with
yeah.
it there. A little twisteroo with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Now around the album, you also have like the whole thing of kind of superheroes going.
Yeah.
Where did that idea come from?
Well, I think it was already with the last album, with the Helix album, had this kind of superhero visuals on the album artwork. It looks a little bit like a Marvel Avengers Infinity War kind of poster.
Yeah, we've been sort of flirting with it before.
Yeah, exactly.
But now I guess I think it was a record label that pushed it a bit.
They were asking if we thought it would be fun to, because what they essentially wanted to do is to introduce all the band members a little bit more. Elise is quite visually striking in our band, but they thought it was a cool thing to you guys are so different as individuals, but yet you kind of fit together, and it's almost like a superhero theme. So would you guys think it would be fun to do this kind of idea? And we were thinking that hell yeah, we love bad ideas, so let's do it.
We're kings of bad ideas. No, but why not? I mean, Amaranthe has always been famous for sort of pushing it musically, and we still keep on doing that. So why not also keep pushing the other things around the music as us as individuals and artists. So push it a bit and just see what happens. I mean, we're having fun.
Yeah, I think it's cool that it's now also coming with like for every band member a different like vinyl color with the superhero card with it.
Yeah, exactly. So
really,
I think it's a fantastic idea, and I can see if people feel that it might be a bit cheesy, in the metal genre, but come on, metal is also about entertainment. It's not essentially about being cool or badass. Maybe that was cool in the 80s or the 90s, but it's 2020 now. The times have changed.
Come on.
Don't take yourself too serious.
75% of metal is as cheesy as it can be.
Exactly.
90%, 99% of all the bands and artists in metal are some sort of role figure.
Anyways, exactly.
They go up on stage and they are someone they can't be off stage, so they bring that extraordinary, extreme person out on stage instead. So we're not any different from any other band, but
no, in that sense, we're quite a bit milder. I mean, you have metal bands today where the drummer is a Spartan and the singer is a Roman general, so which is a cool band, by the way. But so I don't think this is too extreme, of course.
No, it's just another way of doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're having fun, for God's sake.
Yeah, I thought it was a fun.
I mean, if you could do it, wouldn't you do it?
Yeah. I mean, I'm a bit of a geek myself, so yeah, I would jump at it.
Cool.
On this album, you also have quite a couple of guests on songs. That made me wonder if like you could choose anyone like in the future to be like a guest musician or vocalist on one of your tracks. Who would you love to have?
Holy shit, that's a tough one.
It's an interesting question. When it comes to specific singers, what about Amaranthe featuring Eminem? That would piss a lot of people off, and I would love it. And he's pretty badass. He can rap really, harsh as well.
He's fucking extreme.
Yeah.
But I always, I know we've been talking about this before, but I would love to have Trent Reznor from Nine Inch Nails to do sort of
badass
remakes of our songs in his special style. I think he would bring out the darkness for sure. And this Manifest album, I think that would be the perfect album for him to go wild on.
Yeah, certainly.
It would be a really interesting thing. And I think he would fucking knock it out of the ballpark.
So, Trent, if you see us.
Trent, give us a call.
Yeah.
Right now. My phone is not ringing. I said now.
To round it up a little bit, I was wondering, since you have sort of a little bit of extra time on your hands, has there been any like artists or musicians you recently discovered or bands that you're like, hey, you guys should check these guys out, they're pretty cool?
I spent a lot more time listening to music in general. I tend to be, when I get the time for it, I tend to get a little bit geeky with classical music and these kinds of things. But I finally had the time to properly listen to our colleagues' Dynasty's album, which is a fucking killer album. I'm not only saying that because he's in the band, but it's...
And we are friends with all the guys.
Yeah.
That's not the reason. It's just a freaky, phenomenal album.
Yeah. They really took it to the next level there. I can totally respect that. So
Something
check out Dynasty.
Dynasty. Well, I don't know if I've discovered anything new. I would guess...
You haven't been listening to new music in 30 years.
No. I'm an old geezer. No, but I discovered this band called Blues Pills, which with this lady singing, and I think they're Swedish. I don't know. I haven't really cared to take care of. Yeah, all right, thank you. But I just love that old school kind of rock and roll blues stuff, and they really perform it well. So that would be one, for instance.
Oh yeah, speaking of, I had just heard, was it 2 weeks ago? Diablo Swing Orchestra, if you ever heard them. Fucking killer band as well. Yeah. Incredible.
I think we the variety of music we listen to in this band is wider than our personalities compared.
I think that's cool. That brings anyway something extra to any band if you listen to like a wide variety of music.
Yeah.
think so too.
We learn from each other that way.
Okay, completely rounded up. Any last like message to your fans or even people that need to discover you still?
You take it away.
Well, first of all, I have to say thank you to the people of Finland. I mean, for being there since day one. It's we really do appreciate it. We don't take it for granted, and it's been an amazing journey. So thank you guys for the support. Fucking hell yeah.
Kiitos.
Kiitos paljon.
Okay. Well, thank you for the nice talk.
Thank you.
Thank you. A pleasure here on this lovely day. Could have been little
was sunny.
fucking clouds gone.
Yeah, when I was little, I actually thought it was like angel farts. Honest.
That makes a whole lot of sense for being you.